Okay, so video number two, we have a. I've got a really squeaky chair. I should get a new chair. Anyways, we have Robert Whittaker versus Paulo Costa. Maintaining the UFC 301 theme that we have going on, I wanted to make an Islam Makhachev video because, well, Poirier was the last one. Um, and the Benoit Saint Denis versus Dustin Poirier fight was almost like a B Tech version of Dustin Poirier versus Islam Makhachev, what I expect it's going to be like. Because, well, Makhachev and Benoit Saint Denis are obviously not the same fighter, but they have some significant similarities. They're both southpaws. They're both pretty big for the division. They are both primarily grapplers, and they both like to shoot from. They like to shoot when they have their opponent's back against the cage. So I wanted some sort of. Alternate version of that, like a part two of that where I looked at Makachev. But the thing is, Makachev hasn't really fought anyone that's like Dustin Poirier. Well, no southpaws that are like Dustin Poirier. At least the nearest one that I could think of was Drew Dober, but Drew Dober and Dustin Poirier are just not the same person. They're both southpaws. They both like to strike. They're both pretty aggressive, but Dustin Poirier is so much slicker of a boxer, and Drew Dober likes to kick a lot more than Dustin Poirier. I think Poirier's hand-eye coordination is also quite a lot better. So we're doing something else instead. Paulo Costa is fighting Sean Strickland on this card. Paulo Costa is the funniest man on MMA Twitter, and in this fight he fights Robert Whittaker, who is, I would do a Robert Whittaker breakdown any day of the week, just because he's so good. He is so good technically. I do believe he is one of, if not the most technical individual in the UFC, maybe in MMA in general. Yeah, we've got Whittaker versus Costa here. Bear in mind, when watching this, please make sure to look at the jabs, how the jab play a factor, the kicks of Paulo Costa, and ring work. Yeah, let's get into it. So straight away, you see Costa taking the center of the cage. Very, very important. He wants Whittaker on the back foot straight away because Costa knows he's the bigger man, he's the stronger man. Boom. Now, why did that land? It landed because if you look very slowly, let's make it even slower. Watch Whittaker's hands here and his elbow. He thinks that it's going to be a body kick. See? At the very last second, he tucks his elbow in because he thinks that that kick is going to the body. Is going to the body. Boom. And that's why it lands. Paulo Costa, for a man his size, has very, very good hip and hamstring flexibility. Nice counter from Whittaker. Nice jab from Costa though. And pay attention to the jab. You know, Bruce Lee said this once. Like the kind of like oblique kick, hopping side kick to the thigh is the longest weapon, and it hits the closest part of the target's body. The step, the hop step thigh kick doesn't really work in this fight because both men like to stand quite long, and if you mess it up, then it's quite easy to take your back. But the jab would be the next furthest shot. The jab and the calf kick, which is why both of them are just so important nowadays. But pay attention to, oh, nice jab by Whittaker. Pay attention to both men's jabs, but Costa's in particular, because it's an incredible jab. But as you will see over time that he goes to the well with it just too often. Jab into left hook. That's one of Whittaker's signature moves, that jab into left hook. And again, there you go. That's what I was talking about. Look, overhand right off the jab. So look how fast Paulo Costa's kicks are. There you go. See, he doesn't know where it's going because Costa is just that fast. And you know, given that we're talking about it in the context of Paulo Costa fighting Sean Strickland, Costa is he always has the physical like size advantage over guys he fights. But when he fights Robert Whittaker, he's not quite as fast. Whittaker just is incredibly fast. He's faster than Izzy Adesanya. He's faster than pretty much everyone he's ever fought. Uh, Paulo Costa is very fast. He's just not quite as fast. When Costa comes up against nice uppercut. When Paulo Costa comes up against Sean Strickland, he will be fighting a guy who's smaller than him, who isn't as strong as him, and who isn't as fast as him. So Sean Strickland will really have to rely on his technique. Costa throws jab, hook, overhand. Costa has an incredible jab, but he just goes to the well with it too many times. If anything, I would like to see more kicks from Costa. Really nice right hand there. Boom. You see that? Very, very fast. Really fast right hand. Short right hand as Whittaker blitzes in. Boom. On the top of the head. Stops Whittaker in his tracks. Lovely. As different as they are when it comes to styles, Whittaker and Costa, they actually use very similar techniques very, very well. They both like to... Kind of crazy overhand right there. They both like to build off of the jab and the low kick, but they do it in different ways. That was a... Ooh. Okay, I'll have a look at this again. So Paulo Costa throws a bit of a weird right hand, but he steps into it and throws body, which was very nice. Jab, weird right hand, steps with it, body. Lovely. So he made a bad situation into a good situation. Look how... Hold up. Look at Robert Whittaker's face there. That is a man who's so focused at the minute. It is so hard to focus that intensely for 15 minutes, let alone 25 minutes, which is, former champ, that's what he's done. Paulo Costa is just trying to... Look, you can see his hips twitching. He's waiting for the right moment. Oi, there we go. He spins, but Whittaker has no idea if that's going high or to the body. Boom. And why does that work? Because he gets his knee high. He gets his knee. Look how high Costa's knee is there. And he can do that because he has incredible hip flexibility. Being that big is almost like... it almost hides his actual physical capabilities, because everyone looks at the size and they go, oh man, he must hit real hard, he must be a real brawler. And he is, and he does hit hard. But what he can also do incredibly well is kick without guys even seeing it coming, because he just has incredible dexterity and he's incredibly fast. In other words, guys, focus on your flexibility. Okay, that was an odd one. Look. Paulo throws the jab, but he pulls back before he's even completely turned his hip into it and his shoulder into it, because he's already... Whittaker's now got him scared of the counters. He doesn't even throw anything here, Whittaker, but he's now got Paulo nervous about Whittaker's counters, because everything comes off of the jab. He went to the well too many times. He's got a great jab. He just went to it too many times. In my opinion, the fact that Whittaker was able to throw so many counters off Paulo Costa's jab, despite Paulo having a great jab, is a testament to how good of a technical fighter Whittaker is. Again, real fast head kick. And Whittaker just about gets his hands up for it. Nice teep. You'll see over time... Oh, nice jab. You'll see over time that Costa, in the third round, early third round, he throws a lot more kicks. In my opinion, he should have thrown more teeps, because they were they could have at least been a lot more useful than they were. Finally, he gets comfortable throwing the jab, throws a right hand after. Lovely low kick. Again, both of these guys, and there you go. Okay, let's break down those 10 seconds, because both of those guys, they really like to stand quite wide, and the reason for that is because they're both very fast. They like to come in and out of range. So standing quite wide definitely helps with that, but it also leaves you susceptible to low kicks. Low kick, hook, and there you go. Again, hook, Costa throws jab, overhand right, left hook. Now this here is incredible athleticism. Look how close he is. He is too close. Bang. He whips that hip around so well because he's just incredibly flexible. Earlier before in round one, Paulo countered with a really nice right hand to the top of Whittaker's head when Whittaker tried to blitz in. Costa tries to do the same thing this time when Whittaker blitzes in again, and you see Whittaker makes a read, another really, really clever read. Boom. He gets the left hook off first. See that? Gets the left hook off first before Costa can throw his right hand completely. And again, really lovely counter. Look. Costa throws jab, overhand right, left hook. Whittaker's really got that read now. Paulo needs to find something else to do rather than just jabs. And he finds it through some low kicks, which is a good idea. Whittaker throws his own. And again, oi. See, okay. Why did Paulo Costa get hit with that jab left hook when nothing had really happened? Whittaker did not really set that up. Okay, he throws a jab, overhand. The left hook misses. Now, why do those two shots land? Because he's trying to mean mug him. He's too busy trying to look hard. And, you know, no one, like, there's no problem with, like, a bit of trash talk when you're in the cage. Like, who cares? But you are right in range. Look, your opponent's foot is off the ground. He's about to blitz. You should know that something is coming. And again, very fast, very fast. The only reason it didn't work this time is because he's a bit out of range. That one was better. That one he was in range for. But Whittaker's kind of made that read again, you know. I think something that really would have helped Paulo in this fight was more strike variety. Look, you'll see two counters off the jab coming now. Jab. Oh, he didn't even jab that time. He just kind of feinted the jab, and he still got countered. Robert Whittaker is just an incredible fighter. That's heap again from Whittaker. Round 3, fight. There you go, jab to the body. I think that's the first punch he's thrown to the body. So, okay, you're kind of being picked apart from the outside if you're Paulo Costa. You're now in a situation where your opponent has engaged in a clinch. He's kind of done it just so he can turn you and get back into some space, but you could have stayed here for a little bit. You could have just seen, hey, I'm the bigger guy, I'm the stronger guy. Let's see if I can outmuscle him here a little bit, throw in some knees, maybe attempt a takedown. Here. But instead, no. He just kind of lets go. That mid kick with that left leg is there. The mid kick with the left leg is there. And again, your opponent engages in a clinch and hits you with a right hand, but there's no real effort to like try and stay in there. Just see what happens. Okay. At least he tried. He got countered for it, I will admit. But at least he threw a right hand while being the aggressor, not as a counter. He threw the right hand while being the aggressor and turned it into a clinch. And he got a knee off because of it. So now you know. Throwing right hands when you're on the counter works. Clinching works. Now you do more of it. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to continue to make reads and continue to grow in the fight. But he just doesn't really do that, unfortunately. Again, he tries to fire the right hand on the counter. I think he grazes Whittaker, actually. Costa, to be fair to him, when he gets hit with that right hand, he does try to get a clinch. Maybe you should be a bit more aggressive with getting the clinch. Nice body kick. Jab to low. Okay, we're getting some combinations off now rather than just single shots. Teep again. This is good. This is good. The problem is, where was this 10 minutes ago? You have 2.5 minutes left against one of the most technical fighters in your division in the UFC. Whitaker's blitz isn't as damaging anymore because he's kind of just throwing it to get Paulo off of him. So he has some space to breathe now. Again, left hook. He's got an incredible left hook. Jab, low kick, and Whittaker's got his momentum back. All it takes is just a few shots, a few seconds, and then you've got your momentum back. Costa with another teep, spin. You could see he thought about it. You could see he thought about the spin. Look. Feint the hips, and now go for it. Costa, he throws the jab, but he doesn't throw it full. Have a look. He will throw the jab, but he's not going to extend on it completely because he's too afraid of the counters from Whittaker. You know, Whittaker he's got him scared basically. It's been a close round, but you know, round two was definitely Whittaker's. Round one could go either way. I think Whittaker had the accumulation of strikes, but Costa obviously had that big moment. And this round, I think Whittaker still has more shots thrown and landed. Lovely. Have a look at that jab again. Boom. Absolutely amazing jab. You see, like, both of these guys have incredible jabs, but the difference is that Whittaker could make reads off of Costa's jab and counter him. Costa just cannot really do that on Whittaker. Whenever Whittaker throws a jab, it lands. Very nice, very nice. And yeah, so Whittaker ends up winning the decision, but there were some very, very, very nice things from Paulo Costa. You can see the swelling on his leg actually, right there. He's got a great jab. He's a big guy. You can see even right now he's definitely, his frame is just wider and thicker than Whittaker's. But having said that, technique is king. You know, he fought a guy in Robert Whittaker who he's bigger than and he's stronger than, and he's only ever so slightly slower than, and he still lost because what Whittaker was able to do was make incredible reads in the octagon, especially off of the jab. What Costa he could and should have done more of is just throwing more. Throwing not necessarily to land, but throwing to give ideas. That teep was very nice. He just didn't throw enough of it. I think he threw 5 teeps the entire fight. Body kicks, again, were very nice. Head kicks are also nice, but you know, they are hard to... There's only so many head kicks you can throw in a fight. Do you know what I mean? So body kicks are just generally an easier shot to throw and land. If I'm Paulo Costa fighting Sean Strickland, I'm going in there knowing that I'm the bigger guy, I'm the stronger guy, and I'm the faster guy. But he needs to create... He needs to learn how to make reads in that octagon. And if he's able to do that against a guy like Sean Strickland, who does have incredible boxing and has incredible defense, Sean Strickland is the perfect example of how defense can become an offense. Do I think he's going to do that? No. I don't know how many rounds it is actually. Is it 3 or 5 rounds? It is a co-main event, but they've started doing like 5-round co-main events. I don't know, but it really could go either way. In my opinion, I think Sean Strickland will get the better of him, just because I don't think it's... When you're in your 30s and you're having to not recreate the wheel, there's only some stuff that needs to be done, but to recreate your whole fight IQ when you're in your 30s is a very hard thing to do, and I just don't think he'll be able to do it. Anyways, I thought that was a great fight. It was a great fight. Robert Whittaker is incredible. His ability to read what's going on in the octagon while it's happening is just top. So yeah, great fight. I enjoyed this. I'm always gonna say that. I enjoyed this. Peace.